But tonight we delve into a major controversy in Abia State, the fate of the multi-billion naira government house built by the immediate past administration of Governor Okezie Ikpeazu. The current governor, Alex Otti, has declared the complex uninhabitable and a security risk, despite its commissioning just a day before Ikpeazu left office in May 2023. Now, Governor Otti plans to convert the facility into a 5-star hotel while running the state from his private residence, a move that has raised eyebrows and sparked debate about transparency, fiscal responsibility, and political motives. Was the government house truly incomplete, as the current administration claims? Why abandon such an expensive project instead of renovating it and turning it into a hotel? Is that the best use of public funds in a state with pressing development needs? Joining us tonight is Eze Chikanayo, immediate past commissioner for information under Governor Ikpeazu, who defended the project's completion at the time. We asked him some tough questions tonight about these claims, the alleged lack of due process, and whether this controversy reflects deeper issues in Abia's governance. Mr. Chikanayo, welcome to Beyond the Headlines.
Good evening, my brother. How are you doing?
Terrific. I'm doing very well. But let's talk about how Abia is doing today, especially as it regards the government house controversy. The video we showed earlier are the ones that you are projecting. But your administration, I'm talking about the Governor Ikpeazu administration, commissioned the new government house on May 28, 2023. That was just a day before leaving office. The current government is claiming it was a rushed project, that the building is uninhabitable and a security risk. What do you make of this position?
Thank you, my brother. I laugh, I just laugh. When somebody says that a government house is a rush project and they're uninhabitable, what will I do? I just laugh now. I just laugh. Look, let me tell you, there's a background to that government house, okay? The government house is part of a trade-arm zone. There's a trade-arm zone that was part of the master plan that Governor T.A. Oji, Ochendo Global, part of his legacy project, because between 2010 and 2015, Governor T.A. Oji was conscious, deliberate to deliver some legacy projects. And part of it was to carve out a part of Umuahia as Ogurube layout, a one-stop shop for all government activities. So there he built massive four-story structures times 5, and auxiliary buildings, because we have 3 secretariats, we have the JAG building, and we have one other service building, that was there before the military that was renovated. So 5 structures for the civil servants. Then Governor T.O.G., expanded and upgraded the Abia State House of Assembly in that same Ogurube layout. And then Governor T.O.G. built a massive, upgraded judiciary, the high courts and all of that. So it's a train arms, just like you have in Abuja. You have the Supreme Court there, you have the National Assembly, you have the Villa. It was part of the master plan of the state capital, Umuahia. And Governor Tio delivered that by 2015. But unfortunately, a little more needed to be done in the government house before he left. The structure was already fully built. Beautiful structure. Please, can you show the slide again? Can you show the slide again?
It's showing house, on the screen.
It's only akin. It's
Long
only,
story.
It's only comparable to the White House.
Just a minute.
It's
let me
comparable to the White House.
Let me interrupt you for a minute. So what we are showing is what you call the video evidence of a furnished building. But the Abia State government is saying that. Just a minute, sir.
Show the area view of the government house.
Just hold on a minute. The Abia State government is saying your video only showed some parts, right? So I'm going to play you another video.
Before you show the...
If you hold on for a minute, I'll show you another video that the current Commissioner for Information in Abia State shared with us. Just hold on. I'll show you this and then we'll get back to this conversation.
And one begins to wonder, the person and persons that designed this so-called government house, one begins to wonder what they had in mind when they designed this kind of government house and expected a governor to come and live in this kind of place. This place appears uninhabitable. Like I said, no wardrobes anywhere, and it's only the first floor that appears to have been finished. The rest of the floors were not finished. So this speaks to the kind of people who had in power before now. People who never meant well for the state. People who didn't even like themselves. Because I keep wondering, the government of the day has decided to turn this place into a 5-star hotel.
Mr. Chikanaya, we are seeing a completely different video here from the one you're talking about. And you heard the commissioner saying there are no wardrobes. It appears only the first floor was completed. I'm wondering if we are talking about two different government houses here.
Okay, if you can just crave your indulgence to listen for a minute. Now, see what is there. There is a master plan, a 3-arm zone. Legislature, the House of Assembly that was expanded and fully upgraded by Governor T.L. in 2011-2015. There was the judiciary, high courts that were built and upgraded, and there was the government house. You understand that you cannot separate these three because governance is, we wanted to have a one-stop shop for governance in Abia State, and all of these are located in a place called Ogube Layout, an entirely new layout that was developed between 2010 and 2015 by Governor T.L. Then when Governor Azu came on board, this government is a continuum. He now took up the government house, built the first floor, the ground floor, furnished to test, completely, beautifully done, the best marble, the best of the best furnishing. The first floor he did. Then the bedrooms that had to do with the new governor that was coming in, given that by the time we finished, the elections had been pronounced and Oti was announced governor. And Governor Bazo and the ESCO, the entire ESCO thought that there was no need for us to furnish the 10th floor and the last floor where a new governor is coming to live. That it was only going to be considerate for us to allow him to furnish his own bedroom and to his own taste and in his own image, the way he wanted it. And we did that in consideration of the fact that, you know, these are personal, bedrooms are personal to people. So what my successor in office, the new commissioner, is showing you is the 10th floor and the bedrooms. And, okay, let's go to the facts. As we speak, Governor Oti has drawn over 10 billion, please, 10 billion, I'm not talking about 10 million. He has taken 10 billion out of Abia State taxpayers' money to service his personal house, 54.6 kilometers away from Umuahia, at Mvosi. He has taken over 10 billion naira of Abia State money to go and furnish his personal house in less than 2 years. Pray.
Is that a claim you can prove? Because you're on national TV. Do you have?
I challenge the honorable commissioner or the governor to come and tell me otherwise. I said it is there in published by Abia State government of Alex Oti as we speak.
That Governor Oti took 10 billion naira of state fund to furnish his personal house.
I said over, not 10 billion. I said over 10 billion. Get me straight. Over 10 billion naira has been taken away from Abia State taxpayers' money in the name of, you know, servicing of government house and maintenance of government house. And as we speak, Governor Oti goes down in the Guinness Book of Record.
So it sounds like you're contradicting yourself. Oh, I thought what you said was he used the money to furnish his personal house, but you're saying government house. That's where I'm coming. Now, can't you allow me to talk? I need to get clarity about what you are saying. That's why I'm following up. Okay, now, what I'm saying, listen now, if you listen very well, if you don't have a mindset, if you listen, I said over 10 billion naira, and I repeat, over 10 billion naira of Abia State money has been drawn down according to the financial report published by Abia State government for the purpose of maintenance of government house, governor's office, governor's whatever. And we speak, as we speak, Governor Oti is the only governor in Nigeria that is living 54 kilometers away from the state capital at Mvosi and living in his personal house. All right. More than 3 new buildings constructed in his compound. And he's the one running executive council meeting,
doing all of the government-sensitive business in his private bedroom at Mvosi, in Isialangwa South, 54.4 kilometers away from Umuahia.
All right.
If you realize the other day, the president of this country, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, taunted him by saying, my friend Governor Oti here, in a meeting they had, said, my friend Governor Oti here is still operating from his personal house. The president of this country affirmed what I'm saying. All right. What I'm saying is that it is an aberration, it is unlawful, it is illegal, it is unheard of, it is ridiculous.
And that point is very clear. Allow me to butt in so that we can drive this conversation logically, right? Quickly walk us through what the former governor's vision was for how a public servant like a governor should live. Because the video that you shared with us shows pictures of luxury that is far from the reality of housing for many Abia residents. Does this not speak of wasteful spending by the administration you served? No.
I laugh again. How can you talk about that? It's just like going to the White House and saying wasteful spending, or going to the villa and saying wasteful spending. The government house of a state, of a nation, is their legacy. It is the property. In Igbo land, we call it the Obi, that is the place where the entire state receives their visitors and do government business. It is a very serious environment. It is manicured in such a way that it represents the essence, the heritage of the entirety of over 4 million Abians. And I'm saying that this government house has been duly located in Ogurube layout. There is the legislature there, there is the executive there, there's the judiciary there, there's the civil service there, as a one-stop shop for government business. And that Governor Oti has committed this harakiri, this anathema, this unbelievable criminality of taking the entire Abia state to his private bedroom at Mvosi, 54 kilometers away. And as I'm talking to you, more than 30 lawyers in Abia state are suing him because every single decision he has taken in his bedroom at Mvosi from the day he started to today is illegal, it is completely null and void. He cannot take Abia State and micromanage us into his bedroom at Mvosi, and you expect us to keep quiet? Is that what you expect?
The Abia State governor has a right of reply. We're hoping to follow up closely with all of the allegations you have made.
Exactly. And when they reply finish, you bring them.
But hold on a minute.
One-on-one with me on
Let us go on a short break. There's nobody talking with you now, so we're probably not going to invite you again. We will hear from them as well. That's why we're talking to you now. But let's take a short break.
When you finish hearing from them, invite me and them together.
And we'll be right back with more. Stay with us, everyone. Now, Ikpeazu, thank you for staying the course on the program. Let's talk about the issue of cost and transparency of this project under the former governor, because there are some interesting developments that we're following up very closely. They said the fencing, for instance, the fencing alone reportedly cost 175 million naira as far back as 2012, right? And that the full cost remains undisclosed. But it's estimated in billions. Why wasn't there full transparency and full disclosure in the project's budget? And would you say that the Abians, got value for their money in this regard?
You are telling me they said, which is in the era of speculation. Who said? Can you tell me who said?
I'm asking you to give us your transparency report as regards a project that was executed under the former governor.
Listen, if you look at Aso Rock Villa as we speak, as it is today, it is not exactly the way it was when Babangida was there, or when Abacha was there, or when Buhari was there. It's a progression. You locate Aso Rock, and successive presidents come and add up as they deem fit. Ogurube layout is a government business area. Ochendo located it. He did the House of Assembly, he did the secretariats, and then Ibazu came and did the government house and completed it. He completed it. He only left OT with the consideration that he should be able to furnish his bedroom. I don't know what that my young man is talking about. Now, and we, in the Executive Council of Abia State, approved every single kobo that was spent in Abia State Government House was approved by the Abia State Executive Council and passed through the due process. So there was no single money that was wasted. So whatever they are saying is, okay, let's do some comparative analysis.
I am not sure you got my question.
The fact,
so just give me a minute to reframe, because you know you have talked about some over 10 billion naira earmarked by this administration to maintain the government house. How much was budgeted and spent for this building under Governor Ikpeazu's administration? You were Commissioner for Information.
Exactly, my brother. Let me now, let's not look confrontational so you can get my drift. Now, the building of Abia State Government House did not start with Governor Ikpeazu. It started with Governor T.A. But when Governor Ikpeazu came on board, Governor T.A. has finished the substructure, has done the building, and Governor Ikpeazu was to improve on it and then possibly add 1 or 2 more structures, like the security houses, like the fencing and all of that. And when Governor T came, government being a continuum, he was expected to continue from wherever his predecessors ended and continue to do the needful. But when he came, he preferred to divert the entire money to his private residence at Mvosi and spent, as we speak, plus or minus 10 billion naira in servicing his private residence in the name of servicing of governor's office. That's what I'm saying. Can't you understand that?
Well, you did not answer my question, and that was the second time I was asking. So I'm going to assume that you intentionally did not answer it.
Your question is that I should give you plus or minus 1 naira or 2 naira, and I'm telling you that this thing started with from 2010 to 2015 with Governor
There was precisely what Governor Ikpeazu did under his administration to bring it to the level where...
What Governor Ikpeazu did was that when he came, Governor T.O.G. had completed the building, the roofing, and most of the structures that were required in that environment. So Governor Ikpeazu improved on it and then did the furnishing of the first floor, did the furnishing of the second floor, and in his own consideration, in his own magnanimity, thinking that he was doing what is rightful. A new governor is coming, a hostile governor, and he said, let's leave his bedroom for him to furnish to his own taste.
And you're not privy to how much was spent to bring that building to a point where it was inaugurated a day before it left
office. Were you not the one that said it was done on the 28th, it was commissioned on the 28th of May? That's
what I'm saying, that you're not privy to how much Governor Ikpeazu spent.
So if it was commissioned on 28th of May and I ended office in I ended my office in 29th of May, how will I go to the Accountant General and find out how much was spent?
That's a very convenient way to put it. But let us move on, right? Governor Oti now plans to turn the multi-billionaire government house into a hotel. According to him, it is such that state resources don't go to waste. You don't think that's better than merely abandoning it?
It's a gratuitous insult. He cannot do that. He doesn't even have the power to do that. We will sue him, and he can't do that. Governor, even if he thinks he's immune to issues that has to do with litigation, we will stop him from doing that, because it is completely, let me use the word with a due apologies to all Nigerians. It is completely idiotic. How can you tell me that in a place where you already have
it is important that you watch your language, right? So that we don't appear like we're abusing everyone.
I will draw it with due respect. I will draw it with due respect. What I'm saying is that you cannot have an existing House of Assembly in Ogurube layout. You have the judiciary in Ogurube layout, and then you pull out the government house from Ogurube layout. That place is a 3-arm zone already made and already established for Abia State as the seat of governance, as a one-stop shop for governance. So how can Governor to wake up one morning and pull it out and put a 5-star hotel? How many 5-star hotels, by the way, do you have in Nigeria?
We have just about 1 more minute to go, but I want you to quickly respond to this. The Oti administration is saying that the government you served under falsely claimed that the old government house was rented, accusing you of siphoning money through rent payments. Can you clarify, as former information commissioner, was the old government house truly rented?
What is rented, as I speak to you, is the audio projects that Oti has done. Out of 700 billion that President Tinubu has put into Abia State in the less than 2 years, out of 700 billion, Oti has written off over 400 billion into places that we don't know. Recreational facilities, office building, what do you call it? recreational, agri seedlings, security, whatever.
Again, Mr. Chikanayo, you did not answer that question. Was the old government house rented or not?
It has never been rented, cannot be rented.
So where did that information come
and
from?
anybody around him can prove that 1 kobo was drawn from Abia State government coffers in the name of rent for old government quarters. I'll come here publicly and apologize. OT is running on propaganda, on deception, on hypocrisy. And that is one thing with Labour Party. That's one thing with the obedient movement. That is one thing with OT. OT and P2B, they are high on hypocrisy and propaganda and low on performance. It's a good place to live it. That's what I'm saying.
It's a good place to live it, and the Abia State governor has a right of reply. We completely dissociate ourselves from any.
And make sure you bring me back here to talk with them face to face.
The opinion of Barrister Eze Chikanayo, who's the past commissioner for information in Abia State. Thank you so much for talking to us on the program this evening.